And we're live and we're going.
Um, Happy Friday. Today's August 14th. I'm Will.
Hey, Vsauce, Max here.
We got Max over there somewhere. And we got George. What's going on, George?
I'm very, very well. Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here. Glad that you're here.
What's going on, Matt?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I went golfing today. That was pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
And yesterday, not so fun. I got cavities filled at the dentist. So, as you can imagine, didn't really like that.
Okay, cool. I've gone golfing once in my entire life because somebody at work insisted I did. I'm a tennis player, not a golfer. I've been a tennis player for many, many years.
You should go golfing again. It's pretty fun.
Well, not as much fun for me as it is playing tennis. But I'm the type that if there's not some running and sweating involved, I probably won't be interested. That's just me.
Yeah, you're not really running and sweating. If you go to a full-on golf course, you'll probably be driving a cart around all over the place. At least that's what I did today.
Trust, I know all about it. My first job in life when I was 16 was being a caddy. So I know all about walking around golf courses.
All right. I've never went golfing.
I never.
Try it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try it one day.
Even I say it's something you should try at least once.
Maybe when I retire.
Exactly. There you go. Perfect. If any of you watching have not tried golfing before, you should do it.
I think
pretty good.
Should do. All right, so we should say hello to Nigel, who was here first, and he just barely beat 6 by 4 minutes. And then Brian's in here, and then Eleanor just came in. So that's who I know is here at the moment.
Yep.
And if you're here and you're hiding out, you should let us know you're here.
All right. So we got a good bit of stories. So
yeah,
we get started. We had some interesting week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen for the first one now. I'm assuming you're going to read this one, Will?
Yeah, I guess I got it.
Okay, I got it shared.
All right.
This is on 9 to 5 Google.
Yeah, this one's from 9 to 5 Google. OnePlus teases its Android 11 update with always on display, new dark mode, and major UI change.
Right, I heard about that.
Ahead of more news coming next week, OnePlus today has released a couple teaser images to hype up its Android 11 Oxygen OS update, which includes a few notable changes. A handful of teaser images shared on Weibo give us a hint of what to expect from OnePlus's Android 11 builds. There are 3 primary parts of these teasers, starting with a major UI change. It's not totally clear what this means, but based on the image, it seems like OnePlus might be adopting a style similar to Samsung's One UI when it comes down to its own apps, namely the style that pushes primary content lower down on the screen to make it easier to access with one hand. In a separate Twitter teaser, Pete Lau calls this design fresh. Another big change here is dark mode, which apparently will be improved in Android 11. OnePlus's teaser really didn't give us any specific details, but I'd assume it's the same improved dark mode that we saw with the launch of the OnePlus 7T just out of its experimental phase. Either that or OnePlus is simply teasing the very overdue addition of a dark mode toggle, which is already confirmed for Android 11.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Finally, OnePlus also shows several designs for its always-on display, another overdue feature that users have been requesting for years. As seen previously, there are some slick and unique designs here, but also some more traditional options that play off of analog and digital clock faces. These teasers are probably directly for OnePlus's Hydrogen OS, which is used in Chinese models of the company's smartphones, but the Oxygen OS builds should look almost identical.
Oh, I didn't know that. They had a separate software skin for the China versions of their phones.
Yeah, you can see the one on the right and the one on the left.
So, George, you got a OnePlus, and I'm guessing yours will get this at some point.
I'm thinking that now, of course, I'm on the beta, and I may have it already. I just don't. I updated it the other day, but I didn't have time. I have the OnePlus 7 Pro, but I didn't have time to mess with it.
Yeah, the most common thing I heard about this was that everyone's saying it looks a lot like One UI from Samsung.
And One UI is pretty popular, unlike the
It is.
everybody.
I don't think, even though I like that OnePlus is branching out from essentially sticking to a stock experience,
Right.
I like that they're branching out a little bit to try something different, even though I don't know how well it'll go for their customers and us enthusiasts who have liked OnePlus's software skin for the longest time ever since they came out with it.
But this 2020 seems to be the year that OnePlus wants to try things.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just that they're trying things, because when they switch to a mainstream flagship brand and introduce phones at prices comparable to Apple's and Samsung's.
Right, but I'm thinking that's why they came out with the Nord, so they're trying to do both.
Yeah, but that's not gonna stick. That's not gonna be a temporary thing. Like, that's gonna stick to them forever. They're now a mainstream brand completely.
Yeah, but if they're like Samsung, that they'll have their main flagships, and then they'll have their sub brand with the Nord. That's what Samsung has been pretty good with, all their A line.
Yeah, Samsung's A line is actually really fantastic. Really great value, but I really don't see the point in buying the 5G versions of those A series, because they're way overpriced, I think.
I agree.
For what you get.
I agree. And it seems like when you put 5G in a phone, it just costs a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, like
for example,
Galaxy A51, $250. A51 5G, $400.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems that's the way it's going to be with any 5G. Although the Nord is not bad for a 5G phone as far as price.
True. But they don't have a 4G version of that phone.
That's true.
That's cheaper, that they're promoting heavily.
Yeah. You're allowed to say something, Will.
I'm just listening to you and Max.
Remember, you're in charge. You can mute us if you want.
OnePlus is messing up. Like, I don't see people excited.
Well, why do you see them as messing up? I
don't think that they're going in the wrong direction in terms of their pricing and their phones and their overall sales strategy, because
I would agree with you, except that the Nord kind of changes that, and it sounds like the Nord is not going to be the phone. It sounds like it's going to be.
I think the only reason why they made the Nord was to make people think, or to at least give people what they would have wanted.
Yeah, and I think they mean it as a series. I don't think they mean it as a one-off.
Well, yeah, because when they were heavily teasing it, they said like OnePlus Nord series.
Exactly.
It's almost as if they're going to make a Nord 2 and a Nord 3. Yeah, and sooner than later, they're going to have a Nord series of phones and then a flagship.
That's why I disagree with you, Will, because I think doing both might be the way to go.
George, software-wise, I think they're going in the wrong direction.
Because they're turning into the next. They're turning into the next Samsung. They want their own version of everything. Kind of.
Because
not really. They have their own weather app that I don't really like. That was teased in the new update. So I think
people who buy OnePlus, they buy it or they stuck with it because it's like stock.
Yeah, exactly. And you may be right about that.
But of course, if you don't like it, you can just download, Nova Launcher or something else from the Play Store, and there's the problem solved.
Yeah, but it doesn't solve the problem though, because I don't know. I guess OnePlus is supposed to be as close to stock as you can get with like some customization.
OnePlus and Moto, those are the closest.
Not supposed to be.
OnePlus used to be like that. With the very first OnePlus phone, the OnePlus One, that ran CyanogenOS. OS. So that was a custom ROM of Android, which was basically.
But then they broke up with CyanogenOS. OS.
Yeah, and Cyanogen just shut down. So
yeah. Well, yeah. Once they lost OnePlus, they had no customers. I don't think.
Yeah.
Brian's okay. What was right? The competitors are murdering their cameras in $500, so they become overpriced.
What's going on, Munchie? Yeah, like if I buy a OnePlus phone before, I wanted it because I wanted their software. I don't want it to look like Samsung's.
Yeah, and I think you and Munchie may be right about that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think
understand
Samsung software belongs on Samsung phones, and stock Android or close to stock belongs on everything else.
But don't forget that OnePlus has never made any bones about copying people. Remember a few years ago, there's people said copy that, and they always said that's fine. You know,
they're trying to copy Apple, but
yeah,
I don't know. Still,
Yeah.
All right,
But
now before we go to the next story, let me know my order.
All right, next is Twitter and TikTok.
One more thing before that, though.
Go ahead.
Even if they don't make more Nord phones, which is highly unlikely given everything, but there's still like their parent company owns another subsidiary called Realme, and they sell very well.
That's true. Their parent company owns three other companies. Yeah, well, like it's the Oppo phones that
like
basically
sell very well in India,
whatever
but
shows
those
up
kind
on
of
Oppo shows up on OnePlus normally, you know.
All right.
So yeah, most people watch Oppo to see what OnePlus is going to do, but now that they have like two lines, it's probably harder to predict that. It's my guess.
I think we need to start watching Samsung because I think this Nord series is like a direct competition against the A series from Samsung.
I kind of agree with that, and it's also a competition against the Pixel 4a. Yeah.
The Pixel 4a.
And the
that Pixel camera is ridiculous.
And the Apple SE, you know.
Okay. Hold on just a minute. I'll be right back. My cat wants to get out, so I gotta open the door.
Don't get catty with us.
He wants to fight right now, so I'm gonna.
All right. We ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. This is 9 to 5 Mac again. This is from the Wall Street Journal, according to 9 to 5 Mac. Twitter has held preliminary talks about a potential combination with, interesting word, combination with TikTok. The drama around TikTok's fate in the United States continues to evolve. A new report from the Wall Street Journal today said that Twitter has held preliminary talks with TikTok as a potential combination. Strange word to use. Despite these talks, Microsoft is still said to be the front runner to acquire the company. The report emphasizes that it's not immediately clear why Twitter would be interested in the possible acquisition of TikTok, given the obstacles it would face, including the high price of the company. Furthermore, the report is that Twitter would be a long-shot contender for TikTok's United States business, but that its smaller size could help alleviate antitrust concerns. A variety of companies have reportedly expressed interest in potentially acquiring TikTok at one point or another, including Apple, Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Microsoft. Apple immediately denied the rumors, but Microsoft has publicly confirmed its interest in acquiring TikTok. Twitter declined to comment on the Wall Street Journal report. Of course, Twitter has a history with short-form video sharing apps. Yes, they do. Twitter acquired the viral short-form video sharing app Vine in 2012, but ultimately ended up shutting the service down.
Oh, yeah, remember Vine?
4 years later, yeah, and I think they just mismanaged the heck out of it. TikTok is a much bigger business than Vine was, so its fate in Twitter's hands would presumably be quite different. Nonetheless, it's interesting to consider whether TikTok would even be as valuable as it is today if Vine hadn't been shut down so early. All of this stems from President Trump's threat to ban TikTok, which is owned by China-based ByteDance in the United States over national security concerns. Microsoft has also published a blog post detailing its ongoing negotiations with ByteDance, committing to an announcement of some sort by September 15th. Yeah, that's because Trump gave him that deadline. Yeah. Underscoring the fast-paced situation, Trump on Friday signed an executive order to ban transactions with Chinese companies ByteDance and Tencent. That's a huge, huge deal.
Yeah, they're on WeChat. So.
But a sale to a United States company such as Microsoft would alleviate this concern. Yes, and I think Microsoft should be the one to get it because they can handle it. Twitter is about the same value as TikTok itself, so I don't see how the heck they're going to afford it.
Here's the thing about this entire thing. First off, I'd rather have Microsoft acquire them.
Me
but
too.
Also, when Vine died, TikTok came, But then if TikTok dies and Microsoft fails to buy them, they get banned from the US. And I honestly hope that happens because TikTok is turning everyone into mindless zombies with the garbage, cringy content on there.
Well,
But
it's mostly your age range, so I could see where you might find it embarrassing.
Back to the point, though, like if TikTok dies, which I hope it does, as I mentioned before, there's going to be another video sharing app just like it. Like I'm seeing ads on YouTube now when I'm watching on my phone for this app called Zyn, ZYNN.
Yeah.
And to me it looks like the exact same thing as TikTok, just with less videos and just an overall smaller company. But I'm seeing YouTube ads for Zyn a ton, way more than I see TikTok ads.
I was watching Lou Later earlier today.
Be dead. So
watching Lou Later from Unbox Therapy earlier today, and he said there's like 4 or 5, that have come up ready to take TikTok's place. So there seems to be a lot there.
Also, whatever happened to Musical.ly?
Never heard of that one.
I think that one came after Vine and was there before TikTok.
You know that one, Will?
I heard of it, but I never really.
Yeah, neither did I. But I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing as TikTok was and still is. But
this thing with Tencent owns it has pieces of a lot of companies. So if they end up banning Tencent, that's going to affect a lot of people's business in this country and lots of other countries, is my guess. But keep in mind, the whole TikTok thing, it's not the U.S. India banned them first, and we're right behind them. Japan is doing it. Australia is doing it. And our next story is going to probably show why.
But what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say.
Welcome to the club.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. And what if Google bought TikTok? What do you think would happen then?
They would kill it.
I think what would they do? Well, they shut them down, right? Well,
they would kill it next year.
Yeah, they'd keep it for a year, and even I got to agree with Bill on that. That's probably the last company you want buying TikTok.
But this one's crazier. This one's even crazier. What if Apple bought TikTok?
Apple would make it a success. Apple is not into doing anything but success.
Apple would target.
Apple would turn it into a big app full of ads for their own products.
But they would also make. What has Apple ever done and lost money on? Nothing that I know of.
The
HomePod, what other fails?
All right, you're right about the HomePod.
Yeah, that was just awful.
Android does say, why are we talking about TikTok? Because it's the biggest tech story in the country at the moment. That's why.
TikToks, because I think you made a mistake where you said TikToks instead of TikTok.
And there's a bunch of teenagers on TikTok who are about to lose millions of dollars if they get shut down, and they know it.
Oh, Ted is in the chat. He also did another fail, the iPhone 5C.
That's true.
That was
the iPhone 5C was just terrible. Only $100 less than the flagship 5S, and you lost out so much.
I stand corrected, but Apple would make a suggestion, but I don't think they're interested. Is my guess.
Yeah, I hope that nobody buys it and it just goes away from the US.
I'd like to see Microsoft get it.
Well, yeah, but on my list of what happens to it in first place in terms of what I hope happens is it gets shut down from the US.
Yeah, for me, there's hundreds of kids making a lot of money on TikTok. I don't want to see them, lose the money and have to start all over again. Now, for myself, you'll never see me on TikTok. I guarantee you that.
I feel the same exactly. But what if? There's going to be another video streaming app coming when TikTok dies, if it does, and then they're just going to make their money on that one.
Yeah, but they're going to have to build it up again. That they built their way up to TikTok.
True.
I just rather see them all keep making money. So I hope Microsoft gets them and they separate from ByteDance and everything's good to go. That's just my hope for them. I'm always the type that I don't want to see anybody lose their job, lose money, whatever. What are you laughing at, sucker?
I'm just laughing at the whole thing. All right.
Okay. All right, I got the next one up. Max, are you going to read this one?
Yes.
All right.
I was muted for a little bit there.
Another 9 to 5 Google. Okay.
I need to pull it up, so I gotta.
All
Sorry
right.
about the wait, but I gotta pull the article up. I didn't come prepared.
At my age, I'm never in a hurry because it doesn't do any good, unless I'm on a tennis court, of course.
Okie doke. Oh, you don't have the articles linked in the description.
You know what?
Will.
George, you didn't share the thing with him?
No, I thought you would do that. But in any case,
I'll just read
last
off
week
the
was the
screen.
first time Ted ever did that. Nobody had ever done that with us.
Okay, I'll just read off the screen. Report: TikTok used loophole to collect MAC addresses on Android.
Okay.
At the start of this month, President Trump announced that the U.S. would close down TikTok on September 15th unless it was required. Data privacy and security concerns have always shrouded the app, and a new report reveals one particular loophole that TikTok exploited on Android to collect MAC addresses. The Wall Street Journal today detailed how TikTok for Android collected MAC addresses for at least 15 months, ending with an update released November 18th of last year. In 2015, Google prohibited Android apps distributed through the Play Store from connecting personal identifiable information or associated with any persistent device identifier. This includes MAC addresses and IMEIs. However, TikTok leveraged a workaround that the Wall Street Journal described as being circuitous. That identifier, a device's advertising ID, and other data is sent to ByteDance the first time you open the app, before users can provide any consent. While the ad ID can be reset, there's no real benefit if any new ones can be associated with an existing MAC address. The MAC address is useful to advertising-driven apps because it can't be reset or altered, allowing app makers and third-party analytics firms to build profiles of consumer behavior that persist through any privacy measure short of the owner getting a new phone. Meanwhile, TikTok also leverages an unusual added layer of encryption to conceal collected data. Researchers quoted in today's piece say that there is no real security benefit. Rather, this practice makes it difficult for the third parties to examine what information is being transmitted and whether the social media app is following the stated privacy policy. The company said that the current version of TikTok does not collect MAC addresses, but otherwise did not comment on its past practices. Meanwhile, Google said it's examining today's report.
So up until I saw this story, and I heard it on Lou from Unbox Therapy the other day. I wasn't sure if I agreed. I wasn't sure if I agreed with them banning TikTok, but now I agree with them.
But we have someone very special in the chat that I see. He goes by the name of Robert Kester, and the reason why he's so special is he shows up to all my live streams and then plays my live game that I do right before this live stream, so I'm glad he's here. He came up with a signature catchphrase that we use there called "woo woo."
Well, welcome, Robert.
Yeah, welcome.
So in any case, I now agree with the banning because they collected this data for over a year, and it says it was encrypted, so nobody even knew where they sent it. So I got to agree with all the countries that are banning them. And another reason why I hope Microsoft gets them. Will, you got anything?
No. I mean, they look like they should be shut down now.
I agree.
You can't really. And I think they said this has been like
15 months
prohibited, for a while. No, I mean it's been.
Oh yeah, it's been prohibited from the beginning, but they found a workaround that wasn't illegal.
Yeah.
But the fact that they encrypted the data that they snatched from the MAC addresses, that's very iffy.
Yeah, shout out to Robert Kester. Thank you for making it.
Didn't know if you was reading the comments. Yeah, you should definitely do open live streams on your channel. Did you see that, Max?
Yeah, I actually kind of want to do a thing where I combine my Kahoot live stream, where I do Smartphone Kahoot Live, and Friday Night Tech Talk on my channel. I kind of want to do that because I think that would actually be pretty cool.
What is Kahoot?
It's like a interactive question game, so you can so like I'd be sharing my screen and it would have the question and the options, and then you would go to the Kahoot website on a different device or on a different window or something, but you also have to watch that at the same time. Do you follow? And then there's like a game pin, and then you enter the game pin, and then that connects you to the game and makes you one of the players. Kahoot is spelled with a K. Sorry there, Ted. But yeah, basically you just answer the questions, and the quicker you do it, the better it is. George, you gotta attend my live streams.
If when it comes to games, if it doesn't involve racing, you're probably not going to get George.
Well, it's only half an hour before this one, so
I know. I'm a racing junkie. Other than that, I'm not much interested in games.
Do you like Mario Kart?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Yes, I do.
Yo, Brian, it's crazy.
Yeah, picture in picture.
Brian, you got to get on that beta.
I'm on the beta. Yeah,
you get picture in picture, but not for YouTube yet. Unless you're on yet.
No.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't wait till this. I'm surprised they waited till now to add picture in picture.
But like, Apple always does things in their own time. I guess they have their reasons. Yeah.
And when they introduce a feature that's been on Android forever, they call it innovative.
Yes, they do, and a lot of their users believe it. Munchie, I played Need for Speed. I played Need for Speed for years. Trust me.
Played what? Oh, Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. I used to love to play that game.
Yeah, I've not played that.
But I used to play the IndyCar game so much that I got so I could recognize all the IndyCar tracks on television just from playing the game so much. But IndyCar is my second favorite sport anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I don't have the beta because, I just worry about stability and I just don't want to do it. It's not worth it for me. But my friend has the iOS 14 beta on his iPhone 11, and
I have it on my iPhone 11 and on my iPad, and I haven't had any issues at all.
He also has the iPad OS 14 beta on his iPad.
Right.
So yeah.
I haven't had any issues. Somebody asked yesterday. I haven't seen any issue at all with anything so far.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll just wait.
Look at Brian. Brian, they just gave you icons. Give them a little time. But I understand. I understand your plea.
Yeah. Did you see the College Humor parody of iOS 14? Did anyone see that?
No.
It's really good. It's like there's a bunch of rounded boxes, and then there's rounded boxes on top of rounded boxes. And now, if you're watching a video rounded box, you can put it on top of all your rounded boxes. And it's a whole thing. And eventually they get to the point where they announce a fake 100-inch iMac called the Mac Max X Plus ! That costs all your money in a rounded suitcase. It's interesting. You should definitely check it out.
Okay. I'm trying to read Ted's.
Ted was asking who he's supposed to get mad at for picture.
Yeah, iPadOS has used picture-in-picture for FaceTime. It hasn't, at least for me, iPadOS hasn't supported picture-in-picture for YouTube, but for FaceTime it actually does picture-in-picture.
Well, they're going to go FaceTime first. That makes perfect sense.
Well, yeah, it's an Apple app. YouTube is an app from the direct competitor.
Exactly.
But George, would it be Apple or would it be the developer who has it?
I'm going to guess it's Apple. I'm going to guess you had to have some Apple hardware, even if it was a separate developer.
Yeah, but one legitimate, innovative feature that they introduced that I haven't seen yet was the app clips. I feel like those are very underrated.
I read about them, and I haven't even looked at it yet, and I already have it on the phone.
Yeah, but Android had it already. Just nobody.
They didn't have app clips.
Yeah, Android had it. Android has instant apps or whatever where you don't download it, you can just use it. But
I've never heard about that.
Trust me, if Will says it, it's true.
Because it's Google. Nobody cared about it.
Yeah.
Like George said, when Apple, see, George, it's gotta be Google. Because you see what Ted said on Netflix, Hulu, all those apps you can do picture in picture.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gotta be Google hasn't done something for YouTube yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next.
Which one are we going to?
This one is the Google Phone beta.
The one with the Android Authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. I'll read it.
Let me get it up there, please.
Let me see. Google just doesn't know how to sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. Next time for Friday Night Tech Talk, we should put the articles linked in the description so I can easily get to them.
Usually we just do them on a thing, but I thought George had sent it to you.
I thought you would. Anyway, we put them on Google Keep. I got it up.
Wait, do you put them on Telegram? Because I don't use that one. Did you? If you emailed them to me, then.
No, I didn't. You don't use what? Google Keep.
You don't use Google Keep?
No.
I thought the whole world used Google Keep.
You know, Max is in Wisconsin. All right.
Are you throwing shade at Wisconsin people now?
I never knew about Google Keep. I mean, I always saw people using it.
Max, are you going to take this guff from a Jersey guy?
I
never knew what Google Keep was until just now.
Okay.
I learned a new thing today.
Hopefully, you gotta check it out
on your phone.
All right.
Yeah.
Google's iPhone app can be installed on most phones now. Here's how to get it.
Okay.
The Google Phone app, previously only available on Pixel phones, is now available as a beta for most Android phones. You'll need to enroll in the beta to give it a shot. The instructions are in the article below. Unfortunately, the app doesn't have any of a lot of the Pixel-centric features, such as call screen yet. I added it yet. The Google Phone app is what powers the dialer of Pixel smartphones. Its simple design and powerful features make it a favorite of Pixel users. Now, though, anyone can give a bare bones version of the app a shot, even if you don't own a Pixel. We don't know specifically which phones are able to give the app a try, but according to our own testing, pretty much any Android-powered smartphone seems to be compatible. Chromebooks, tablets, and Wear OS-powered watches obviously won't work. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind that the Google Phone app is only in beta for non-Pixel phones. Therefore, it'll be missing quite a few features that make it truly powerful, such as call screen. In other words, you should try this out now if you like the look and feel of the app, as its feature set is limited. How to get the Google Phone app. First, you need to enroll in the beta program using a device on which you are logged in with your Google account. Go to the page. Everybody knows how to download the app. Anyway, George, do you think they're going to add a call screen at some point?
I don't think so. You've been right every time. I have to admit that. But I'm thinking they're going to keep this to Pixel.
Because I'm using your logic and everybody else. Google just wants to get data. So if they're not selling millions and millions of Pixel phones, call screen isn't doing what they wanted to do. So I think
and call screen is very popular with people that have it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to put it on all the phones. Mike had I always want to say LG. I think it was a Moto phone he had that had the Google app and call screen. He had one phone. It wasn't a Pixel, but it had call screen and everything built in, just like it was a.
I don't think it was Moto, but I'm not positive.
Maybe it was LG. One of them phones he had.
Maybe it was the G7.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't an expensive phone. It was either like an Android One phone, or it was like one of them kind of phones. He had it. It had call screen on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to.
Well, I can't disagree with you because you haven't been wrong in any of your predictions yet.
Because George, what would be the point? What would be the point of them just putting the dialer on the Play Store if they're not going to add anything to it?
I have a cool unrelated thing that I saw on Twitter. Can I share my screen and show it to you? It's
Munchie
really cool.
is asking if it's the Moto X4.
Moto X4. Maybe it was either a Moto phone or like an LG phone or something that he had. He was like, it has the Google call screen. I couldn't believe it.
Will, Max wants to share something, but you're in control.
This is actually a really cool, fun thing that I think people should know. A coin toss is not 50-50. The head side of a coin typically has slightly more mass than its tail side due to how it's engraved. This results in a 56% chance of a coin landing head side up. I just thought people had to know that.
And we needed to know that why?
I'm just wondering, like, share it. He has to share something. I thought it was going to be something good.
I thought it was going to be something good.
Related.
Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Tell me something
tip. The next time you do a flip a coin thing, pick heads, and it's more likely to do it.
No, it would have been good if it was like the old Twilight Zone where he flipped a coin and it stood on its side all day long and he could read people's minds the whole time it did. That was cool. I'm the only one old enough to remember that, though.
I don't remember.
That was the guy that played Darren on Bewitched. That's how far back that goes.
Yeah, I remember that show.
All right, what's next?
This is for you, George. You can read this one. Your
Tell me which one it is, though.
Surface from The Verge.
Surface from. Okay, got it.
Okay, I'm not able to see the new chat comments, so I'm gonna quickly reload the screen. So if I'm gone, then
you'll be able to get right back in. I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm sharing it now, Will. Okay, we're there. You want to wait for Max, or should I go ahead?
I'm back.
Oh, boy, you're quick. Okay. All right, we're back on The Verge. Microsoft Surface Duo arrives on September 10th for $13.99. Pre-orders from Microsoft Android phones start today. This was, of course, Wednesday.
Not worth it.
Microsoft is launching. How can you say that when you've never touched the phone? That's why I always agree with
I don't need to touch it to find out whether it's worth it or not.
Well, see, there are an awful lot of YouTubers who've been around longer than you and me that say if you haven't touched the phone, you don't know. I agree.
The specs and the price tell you everything.
No, they don't. Not unless you've touched the phone.
Yeah, it's an aluminum build that probably costs like $20 more than plastic at the most.
Microsoft is launching its Surface Duo dual-screen Android phone on September 10th, priced from $13.99. After months of Microsoft executives teasing the device on Twitter, the company is now allowing anyone to pre-order the Surface Duo today in the U.S. Pre-orders will be available at AT&T, Microsoft's online store, and Best Buy. Oh, and just for those who don't know, I did see in another article, if you order it from AT&T, you're locked to AT&T. If you order it from Microsoft or Best Buy, it is unlocked.
Munchie, Munchie made a weird comment, but you don't pay for the hardware. Then what do you pay for? Are you paying for the dual screen? Or are you paying for the flippity flop?
Let's get to the article and then discuss it. When Microsoft had revealed the design of the Surface Duo back in October, the company had kept the specs relatively secret. The device includes two separate 5.6-inch OLED displays, 1800 by 1350, with a 4.3 aspect ratio that connect together to form an 8.1-inch overall workspace, 2700 by 1800, with a 3.2 aspect ratio.
Whoa.
The 3.2 is kind of unusual.
I don't think the hardware is cheap. I don't think it's good enough to be worth $1,400.
Some people agree with you.
Like
Unlike
I think
foldables like Samsung's Galaxy Fold, the Surface Duo is using real Gorilla Glass, and the displays are designed to work in a similar way to multiple monitors on a Windows PC. Go ahead, Max.
I think it would have been worth it if they priced it at $800 to $900. Like that would have been a reasonable price, given the flippity flop and black specs and a pretty bad camera.
Jay Will agrees with you. Well, I don't think anybody knows what the camera is like yet.
Well, it's 11 megapixels.
Anyway, so Jay Will, who's a lot bigger than you and me, agrees with you 100% on that. One big question over the Surface Duo has been the camera. Microsoft is using an 11 megapixel f2.0 camera, which will include auto modes for low light, HDR multi-frame cameras, and a super zoom up to 7x. Both 4K and 1080p video recording will be supported at 30 and 60 frames per second with electronic image stabilization. There's only a single camera on the Surface Duo, which can be used both for video calls and as a main camera. The basic Surface Duo. Go ahead.
No, never mind. It's just that I don't like how they're advertising a digital keyboard on the second screen, because I don't know, like if you're gonna have a digital keyboard to like replace the laptop keyboard like they're showing in that picture, like that doesn't work.
You could go watch the presentation video. You might change your mind. The basic Surface Duo hardware also consists of a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and 256 gigs of storage. LTE is available on T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. but there's no 5G support at all. Microsoft is also shipping a bumper cover in the box designed to protect the Duo. Microsoft is also including 2 batteries in the Surface Duo, split beneath both displays. Overall, there's 3577 milliamp of capacity, which is considerably less than the 4500 milliamp found on Samsung single screen Note 20 Ultra. A lot of people pointed that out. And even the 4380 milliamp on the original Galaxy Fold. Despite this, Microsoft is promising all-day battery life. I don't think any of us believe that, which means up to 15.5 hours of local video playback, up to 10 days of standby time, and up to 27 hours of talk time. We need to fully test the device during our review, but the capacity here does leave a little cause for concern as the device is powering 2 screens, not 1. I agree.
Here's the thing: 3,500 milliamp hours is not enough to power 2 screens. It just isn't.
At all? So you're saying it won't last 1 minute?
It's not even going to turn on.
Well, no,
exactly. That's what it sounds like he's saying.
No, I mean, it's not enough to
power 2 screens all day long. Most of us.
Yes, there you go. Like, you're probably not going to get all-day battery life with that thing.
I don't know anybody who disagree with you there, but we're going to find out.
Like, they should have added a little bit of a bigger battery, like maybe 4,500 milliamp hours or something.
You're saying the same thing everybody else has said. It's probably one of the sexiest devices that we ever, but that's what he did say in the video.
Okay, that's a lie. I think the Surface Neo looks much better.
Well, a lot of people think he's right about that. It says Windows and device chief Panos Panay in a press briefing held briefly ahead of today's launch. By the way, I had never seen Panos Panay in a video before. That guy is a great presenter, awesome presenter.
Is he?
Yes, he was. Even in the comments, you could see people saying the same thing. It does things that single screen devices can't do, period. Panay's vision for the Surface Duo is to improve productivity on the go, and Microsoft has been doing some interesting work on the software side to complement the hardware. Any Android app will run on the Duo without modification thanks to the choice of 2 separate displays. Any app has to run, says Panay, and it was obviously important to support everything Android from day one. Developers can also optimize the layouts of their apps to really take advantage of the 2 displays and span across them. Microsoft has tweaked its own apps like the Office Suite and OneDrive to span the displays, and third parties like Amazon have also done work on the Kindle app to make it feel like you're reading a book by flicking pages across 2 screens.
Robert actually made a great point in the chat. Those bezels. Like, look at those bezels.
A lot of people have made that point already.
Well, yeah, but it's just something I didn't realize until now.
Oh,
Max, listen, when George gets it, you got to come to his unboxing.
Yeah,
it's something that I don't know why. I just kind of.
I don't think you like this thing at all, Max. I think that's pretty clear.
I don't want to appear as though I hate this device or that.
You're too late, Max. It already appears that you hate this device.
It's just there are a lot of problems with it, but
wait.
It's a first-gen product. It's a first-gen product. So that said, I will give it the benefit of the doubt, given that it's a first-gen product. But I still won't recommend it. I still won't like it. Like,
you can't recommend it. You don't have one. You can't recommend something you haven't had yourself. Nobody can.
Right, but I mean, yeah, $300. There you go, Munchie.
There you go, Max. Buy one and set it on fire. That's what.
Oh no! Do what Tony Pazzo did. Buy one and get a hammer. Remember? All right.
Oh wow, Gary, you bought one?
Brian, there you go. Look at that. Just buy a Pixel 4a and an iPad. It's probably
Gary,
it's probably going to give you a better experience, and you get 2 devices.
Oh, Gary bought a Pixel 4a. I thought you were saying that Gary bought the Duo.
No, I was talking about Brian's comment there. Just buy a Pixel 4a and an iPad.
Yeah, well, Will was talking about Gary's comment.
George, you know Gary's not buying the Duo.
Yeah, I didn't think Gary would buy anything but a Pixel ever.
There you go, big house. Look, you can buy a LG Velvet or a V60. You get the flippity floppity but it's in a phone form factor.
Flippity floppity, I like that.
From now on, I'm going to call it the flippity floppity. That's my new name for all this.
Okay. All right, should I finish?
Yeah. I thought you were done.
Microsoft is also using algorithms to predict how to open apps on different displays. There is an algorithm in there that's very smart and trying to be predictive, explains Panay. If you're on one screen and you're invoking a link, it will fill the other screen. He showed that, and that looked pretty cool. The end result is that if you click a link in an email app on one screen, it will open on the other so you can continue to read the email side by side with a web page. Apps like Microsoft Teams and PowerPoint are also optimized so you can see a video call and the rest of your Teams chat, or look at a full slide and the rest of the deck simultaneously. Microsoft has been working closely with Google on Android for Surface Duo. It was interesting at first, says Panay, referring to the initial days of the partnership. It was a bit of a head scratcher. Satya and I had a lot of conversations. Microsoft had to go with Android for the pure reason of mobile apps, especially after Windows Phone failed in the market. Microsoft has to light up on every platform, says Panay. We had a conversation with Google. The partnership has been crazy fun. I think at first there's a little bit of getting to know each other, but then very quickly we saw what's right for our customer and what can be possible. I think it's great for Google and Android, and I think it's great for Microsoft. Microsoft has created APIs for dual screen apps to work in the Android code base, and it plans to upstream them for other manufacturers and third parties to use. It's part of a broader push to make dual screen and foldable devices a reality, and Panay is very much a believer in this future. I believe that two screens are coming. I think they're needed. It will be interesting to see how developers adapt their Android apps here, and it's key to the overall success of a dual screen or foldable devices in general. Price will be a sticking point for Surface Duo, just as it was for the Galaxy Fold and other devices that will try to usher in a foldable or dual screen future. A lack of 5G and NFC, questions over battery life, and the camera quality would all need to be addressed in our Surface Duo review. But Microsoft is clearly at the start of the future it believes in. You'll have to pay the price to be a part of that initially.
Here's another thing.
The real reason will be how well the Surface Duo and devices like it improve productivity on the go, and whether two mobile screens is truly needed. These devices will ultimately require some hardware advances to really pull off the vision. But if consumers agree with Microsoft, Samsung, and others that two screens are better than one, then we're witnessing the future being built. If not, we're witnessing unique attempts to try and reshape the mobile devices. At the very least, mobile phones are suddenly getting exciting again. As Panay would say, we're pumped to see where all this goes.
Well,
and I do agree that the LG
this is a mobile tablet, not a mobile phone.
Well, they disagree with you.
Well,
you have your opinion. You have your opinion. They have theirs.
Here's another thing, though. I'm not trying to sound like I hate this product. I've said that before, but like, who would want to buy this? Like, over a normal tablet?
Who wants to buy it?
Yeah, because there are a lot of people that want to buy it, I think, already.
Well, but like, why? But like, in terms of practicality, like, what is the use of this other than having a flippity floppity tablet? Yeah, Will is always cracked up when I say flippity floppity.
I think you need to go watch that 35-minute video that Microsoft did.
I would prefer not to spend 35 minutes watching an advertisement when I could be watching.
It shows that thing. It shows that thing doing things that no other phone right now can do. But I think it's cool that Google has set this up so other manufacturers can do the same thing. So, because they wrote the code specifically so that it's not just Microsoft that can do this kind of stuff. So I thought that was a cool idea.
Wait a minute, but there's also like, if they made this into a smartphone, well, not if they made it, but there's actually already been a smartphone that's like basically the phone version of this. Remember the ZTE Axon M?
I have one sitting right next to me.
Oh, perfect. But like that's basically the same thing, just tablet version with.
Well, if they had worked with Google and Google had done some code specifically for that phone, I think the Axon M would still be around.
Yeah, I think they should make an axe on them too, and just
that's what Jay Will and I have been saying for the last 3.5 years, that they should have kept that phone around because they were way ahead of everybody else.
I'm gonna leave the door open behind me in case my cat wants to come in.
Okay, George.
I'm glad you have a cat and I don't.
George.
I just can't stand cats. I love dogs.
What's wrong with cats? Cats are amazing.
I can't stand cats at all, unless they're over 150 pounds. Then I kind of like them.
George.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the video yet, and I'm gonna watch it. But this is what I want to know: what does it do that no other phone does?
Productivity, like he said in the video, when you click on an email, it opens on the other screen automatically by itself. There's a lot of stuff like that I've never seen a phone do before, and I don't think any other phone can
just
do
because
right
of those
now.
minor software features, I don't see how it would.
Max, we already know you hate it, so
I don't see how it would
the end of
compare
that.
to like an LG phone with the LG dual screen, like.
But it can't. But there's no programming in the LG screen to do what this does because they did this.
But I don't think it would be that difficult for LG to just do that.
No, I agree. That's why
I think
Google
they
has made it so that any other phone manufacturer could do the same thing.
And then that would make people buy
I can't listen to both of you at once.
I know.
Over the ones from Microsoft.
Stop. He hates the phone. Let's go to the next story because everybody's talking about it in the chat.
Okay, no more talk about the Surface Duo from me.
George, you got it? The next story from Android Police, Surface Duo.
Okay, the other one. I got it.
Max hates the phone.
But Max supposed to read this story, isn't he? Max, are you going to read this story?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. Max.
Duo.
All right, come on, Max. There you go. It's coming.
All right, Android Police.
Oh, it's about the Surface Duo. Microsoft commits to 3 years of major Android OS updates for the Surface Duo. Plus, it comes with unlockable bootloader. I don't think people would want to root their phone if it's on the Surface Duo, but let's continue. After months of anticipation, Microsoft formally announced that the Surface Duo for pre-order yesterday. It's a pretty unique device with a 5.6-inch AMOLED screen, Surface Pen support, and 360-degree hinge. But that's not all going for it. Microsoft has revealed that it plans to keep the device updated for as long as Google's own Pixel devices, 3 years of OS upgrades and security patches. This means that the Surface Duo is going to outfire most other Android phones released this year when it comes to software and security. Google has committed to at least 3 years of major OS updates and security updates since the Pixel 2 launch.
What happened?
I'm making decisions for everyone. Am I the leader of the free tech community? President Max. Vote for me, 2020.
Oh, God.
Ask Microsoft to stop selling the Surface Duo. Vote for me. It is free. That means that the Surface Duo is going to outlive most other Android phones released this year when it comes to software and security. Google has committed to 3 years of major OS and security updates since the Pixel 2 launch in 2017, and Samsung recently confirmed that it's planning on doing the same thing. However, most Android flagships from other manufacturers are lucky to get 2 years of major OS update support. Microsoft is also saying that the phone will come with an unlockable bootloader for easy rooting and ROMing, as everyone would want to do. The Surface Duo is breaking convention in plenty of other ways too, to the point when we may have to rethink our understanding of what makes a phone a phone. Surface Duo is available for pre-order now, gulp, $13.99. It may be a steep price to pay, but it gets you one of the most fascinating pieces of hardware in a while, and we now know it'll stay fresh for a full 3 years. Maybe by the time 2023 rolls around, it'll be time to upgrade to a tri-screen device.
I thought that last line was brilliant.
Yeah, and even though it said, I kind of agree with it's one of the most fascinating pieces of hardware, but fascinating doesn't necessarily mean good. It's just interesting.
No, well, that's the way I'll find out firsthand, but none of us know. I mean, this is fascinating for all of us, and it has been for a year. Well, we're going to find out whether it really is or not.
Okay, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say anything more about the Surface Duo. I've said what I had to say about the Surface Duo.
Okay.
I'm done talking about the Surface Duo.
Surface Duo.
It's an executive decision from President Max.
George.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see. Okay. So you said it does the email thing. Did that work with Gmail or was it like Microsoft's email app?
It was Outlook, I think.
Okay, so you
Oh,
probably
yeah, one of the things that I was surprised, I was looking at some stuff today, and it looks like they're including a version of Office Suite on the Duo, which I thought was pretty cool. Because I keep thinking of buying Office Max 365, and I don't.
Yeah, I never use that. I think I got it one time, but I use a Mac and I use like the Apple versions of all those apps. And
Right, and I use the Google version, but I used to use the Microsoft stuff until I retired a few years ago. But I found other stuff, other ways of doing it too. But I just think it's cool that they included it on the device.
Yeah.
Hey, George, you said it's unlocked from where?
From if you buy it from Microsoft's website or from Best Buy, it's unlocked, according to the article. AT&T, it's locked.
Yeah.
And according to the article, it should work on any MVNO. At least the
I'll wait
article.
for you to tell me about it, George.
All right. Well, I'll have it in the middle of next month.
Munchie, there is a way to install Windows on Mac. It's a process, but you're actually able to install Windows on a Mac. So, but if it's about the Office 365, you can just get Office 365 for the Mac without installing Windows on it.
Oh, I didn't even know they made it for the Mac.
Yeah.
And George?
Huh?
I prefer Mac OS though over Windows. So, yeah, it's just my preference.
All right. Are we moving on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come do you want to go through the comments or what?
I'm just laughing at Munchie.
Oh yeah, you have to buy Office on the Duo, right? Or well, it's an Android, so I think you can just get the apps from the Play Store.
No, I think I read
or it'll come pre-installed.
that there's an Office Suite installed on the Duo already. At least I'll find out in a few weeks. All right, you got to tell me what's next.
Okay, hold on. I was going.
Yeah, that's what you wanted to see. Oh yeah, will Surface Duo have Groove Music? That's a comment from Bad News.
That's Gary being Gary. We're used to Gary being Gary. Although Munchie is keeping up with him tonight, I gotta say,
I literally forgot about I literally forgot about Groove Music until just now when he made that comment. I remember my teacher at school used Groove Music.
Of course, in my head is going, shake your groove thing, yeah, yeah.
Nah, but Munchie, I do like the what's the phone? The Duo. I like it, but I'm not gonna spend that much for it. I'll wait for it to go and swap it.
I will certainly tell you everything about it that I can find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice though that they're updating it.
Yeah.
Google's gonna have to add more years now because everybody's right.
Yeah, everybody's starting to. Yeah, but I thought one of the coolest things is that other developers can now come up with phones that do the same thing. Of course, they're probably all going to wait to see how it does.
And one of the legit advantages of getting an iPhone is like you get 5 to 6 years of software support.
That's true. That's
like they're still supporting the iPhone 6S. They're going to support it with iOS 14.
Will has been saying that for what, 3 years now, Will?
What?
About the support with iOS.
Oh, yeah. You get a lot of support.
Yeah. And it's not just iOS, Mac OS, iPad OS, Watch OS, Apple TV.
Oh, God.
Because they haven't released any new Apple TV hardware at all.
Oh, Will, did you are you still going to cancel your Apple TV before the year is up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cancel my free year of Apple TV Plus also.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
I'm getting ready to. I checked a couple of weeks ago and I'm like, oh, I still have a few more.
I've never touched that since like the first month that I claimed the free year.
You didn't?
Yeah, I got the Apple TV app on my dock on the Mac. I'm opening it right now. I'm gonna cancel it if I can.
Oh, okay. Because I got hooked on like 3 or 4 different shows, and then I saw all I wanted to see.
What do you think is your favorite show on TV Plus?
Oh, I don't remember now. You know who's making good TV shows in my Prime? Some of the Prime original TV shows are really, really good.
All right. Yeah.
All right, where are we going next, Will?
Okie doke. I can't find how to cancel my TV Plus. They're hooking me. They're reeling me in, but I'll find a way.
9 to 5 Mac.
All right, then this wait. Oh, Fortnite 9 to 5 Mac.
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, it's about Fortnite.
Wait, I got
Being banned from the App Store. I'm happy about that.
Okay.
And I.
You like Fortnite?
Oh, I hate it.
Okay, well you can read it.
Hate it. Garbage app. Garbage game.
I thought it was your turn, Will.
No, did you pull it out?
I just read mine, so.
Right this second. Okay, I got it shared. Right. One of you is reading this. Is on 9 to 5 Mac.
You got it, Max.
I just read one. I'll do it again. I'm honored.
Right. I thought you liked
Fortnite removed from App Store after Epic Games added direct payment option. Oh yeah, I heard about that. It was because they had like the payment within the app.
Yep.
Update: Epic Games filed legal papers attacking the App Store policy. Legal papers. Wow. The highly popular battle royale game Fortnite, which is totally garbage, has now been removed from the App Store after the company added a direct payments feature that evaded Apple's in-app purchase system. Read Apple's statement after the break, right? Because they charge 30%. App Store rules requires digital purchase to use in-app purchase, sharing 30% commission with Apple. The direct payments feature was pretty clearly in violation of those rules. Many believe Epic went ahead with it as an international stunt to draw attention to Apple's App Store policy, aims growing anti-competitive pressures. The stunt will certainly draw attention given Fortnite is one of the most popular games in the world. I wish it wasn't. Fortnite is consistently among the top grossing games on the iOS. It sure is gross. The App Store review guidelines are under investigation by the European Competition Commission and the U.S. Judiciary Panel as to whether Apple is unfairly using its dominance to affect the App Store. I'll stop ranting about Fortnite. I'm sorry. In a statement to The Verge, Apple said that Epic Games purposely violated App Store guidelines by releasing a feature that was not approved by Apple. Epic has had apps on the App Store for a decade, and they've benefited from the App Store ecosystem, including its tools, testing, and distribution that Apple provides to all developers. Epic agreed to the App Store terms and guidelines freely, and we're glad they've built such a successful business on the App Store. The fact that their business interests now lead them to push for a special arrangement that does not change the fact that these guidelines create a level playing field for all developers and make the store safe for all users. We will make every effort to work with Epic to resolve these violations so they can return Fortnite to the App Store. App Store rules mean that almost all digital transactions taking place in apps are required to use in-app purchase, which includes giving Apple a 30% revenue cut. Developers are not allowed to release apps outside of the App Store, essentially giving Apple monopolistic control over the iPhone and iPad app ecosystem. Yeah, remember the Spotify situation? They weren't too happy about that. For subscriptions, Apple takes 30% of the revenue from the first year of transactions and then 15% after that. Yeah, that's how the Spotify thing happened, because they were complaining about 35%, but it was only like 15 because they've been on the App Store for so long. Certain categories of apps are not allowed to use in-app purchase, but they cannot promote alternative ways to make an account. This is why Spotify and Netflix only let you log into your account, not sign up as a new customer. Just last week, Apple said it would not allow game streaming services on the App Store. This means iPhone and iPad users will not be able to access upcoming services like Microsoft xCloud and Google Stadia on their devices. 9 to 5 Mac asked Apple to comment, and we'll update if we hear back.
Okay. And Will, you said we're not going to go with the other story because Google has had the same thing happening with Epic too, right?
They did the same thing. They removed them too.
Yeah. So in both cases, though, Epic started opening up their own in-pay in violation, knowing
and Apple don't like that.
Right. And Will and I were talking about it just before you got in, Max, and we're thinking that the reason that Epic is doing this right now is because Congress is looking at both Apple and Google as far as competitive practices, and Epic is thinking this is a good time to go to court. So that's probably why.
Yeah, I gotta go right now. I had a lot of fun here. I'll hope to be on next week. Most likely, I'll be here next week. So thanks for having me on, and subscribe to my channel if you like smartphones and phone plans.
All right, Max.
And I'll see you on my next video when I make it. I'm ordering some new equipment, and I'll also see you on the next Friday Night Tech Talk.
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Are you done? Oh, look at Munchie. That's cold, man. That's cold.
Munchie's crazy. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know, George. I think that they just want to go to court. That's all.
Yeah, I think and they think that the politicians are probably going to help them out. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We'll see. I see that.
Oh, Jesus, crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna win. I think it's gonna be like you said. They signed the contract, but
I'm on Apple and Google side on this one, but the politicians could, make Apple and Google give in, but who knows? But I'm thinking that's what Epic is betting on.
I think Apple might have to change something because this is going to be an issue. Yeah.
And of course the EU has been doing this kind of crap to Google for years, and they're probably going to do it to Apple too. And they did it to Microsoft years ago in the EU. So
yeah. And like he was saying, Spotify went through this too.
Yeah.
What is the percentage that Google takes? I forget.
That they're also 30%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Munchie said, what's the name? Countersued the Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, what's going on, Carl?
Hey, Carl, good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, so George, when does that phone come?
Did you see Brian's comment? I love it, Brian. That was good. That was very good, Brian. I like it.
You said September?
September 10th. Now, I did hear Jay Will say today that he had talked to them, and if he gets it, they said they'd get it to him by September 9th. So maybe I'll get it by September 9th. But either way, I'll have it. That's for sure. I'm still very fascinated by it. So we'll see what happens.
I like the design of it. And they were just like, no.
Well, watch that video that they made. That's one of the best videos I've seen as far as a presentation. And I just thought he did a great job there. And the stuff the software can do as far as using the dual screens, well, obviously nobody else can yet. But it's just a pretty slick looking device.
I definitely got to wait for your video.
But the big thing is going to be, let's see what the battery life is like, because I'm like everybody else. I don't believe that thing can last all day, but I'll find out.
Yeah, the battery life's probably going to be bad.
Yeah, I would think the battery is probably going to last, half to 2/3 of a day. That's my guess, but I'll find out.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know. It's good though. At least Microsoft is trying to get back out there.
And that's what a lot of people are saying, yeah. And they were smart enough to go. And in the video himself, he said that's why they went with Android, because they failed with Microsoft phone.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they messed up.
Yeah. So I think they're doing a good move, and I hope they do well, and I hope I'm happy with the phone. We'll find out.
Yeah, you better be. A lot of money, man.
So we're out of stories.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
So what did y'all talk about last week? I seen some of it. I don't remember. What happened last week? Nothing, right? There was no big news.
Ted had come up with some stories that there were. I don't think any of the stories were directly phone related. Ted, if you're still watching, correct me if I'm wrong about what we talked about last week. But he came up with some, fascinating tech stories. So next week it's going to be on me.
Okay.
So now, and just keep in mind, folks, when I am broadcasting, I'll be broadcasting on YouTube and both of my Facebook accounts at the same time. So I just find that cool. You see Gary's comment? Gary's still being Gary. Okay. Gary, I've never touched a cricket phone in my life.
Gary, George is moving up.
No. George is a T-Mobile guy, and George is going to stay a T-Mobile.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you, but I think George is going to do it on his channel. So everybody watch his channel. What you showed me earlier. I don't know.
I'll show you. Yeah, this I'll be unboxing tomorrow. That's the new Galaxy Watch 3. I've never had a Galaxy Watch. And again, Will, partially this is you because of all the things you've told me about Galaxy Watches in the past, and most of it has been good.
Yeah, they're well, the last one I had was the Year 3.
Right. Yeah, so I've never had a gun. Now, Eleanor has a Galaxy Watch. She has the Galaxy Active, I think, or Sport.
Samsung makes a good watch. And you have the S20, right?
Right, I have the S20 right here.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, don't know if I'm going to chicken out, folks, but I'm thinking sometime tomorrow morning I'm going to do a live unboxing of the Galaxy Watch 3. And I've never done a live unboxing, so we'll see what happens.
The Pixel Watch will be here, I think, like the Pixel 6 or 7, and they'll put the watch. They gotta finish what's that thing called? The Fitbit acquisition or whatever.
That's true. How long have we been hearing about a Pixel Watch? Was it about 3 years now?
Yeah, because they're not even done with Fitbit yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the government's looking at them getting Fitbit too.
Yeah, so yeah, they
Munchie's asking you a question. Is that true? Did you leave all the Telegram groups?
I don't really be saying nothing in there, so I just left them all.
Okay. I'm still in the groups, but I never have time to. I can't keep up with you and Jerome and Mike and.
Jerome, Jerome pops in there once in a while.
Okay.
Once I finally read the chat, it's usually too
late. Brian is just. I'm trying to do the stuff that fascinates me, and this phone has fascinated me for a year. So,
Munchie, are you getting a 4A? I know you don't like to pay full price, but the 4A is pretty cheap.
Yeah, the 4A is pretty. I've got that coming too.
Yeah, you got a 4A too. George got everything.
No, George doesn't have everything. George can't afford everything.
Did you get my stimulus check and yours?
Would that I could. But you know how I am. If I ended up getting your stimulus check, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be calling you up saying, Will, I got your stimulus check. Where should I send it? That's just how I am.
George, Google is killing Duo. What's Munchie talking about? He's joking. He's got to be playing.
Oh, we did talk about that last week. No, not about Duo. No, we were talking about the Google Plus. That's right.
So what's he talking about?
I don't know. Munchie, you need to explain yourself.
I think he's playing.
Okay.
That's like one of the best apps Google has. If they kill that, they're crazy.
I'm thinking that is by far the best app Google has.
Google killing Duo. Yeah, he's got it.
Well, maybe he's just looking at Google's track record, and that wouldn't be surprising. Gary's saying Duo is becoming me. So they're not killing it, they're changing it.
No, they're going to mess it up, man.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Munchie and Gary, for letting us know.
Wow, Google is about to mess it up. Hold on, let me see if I can find.
Yeah, I'm thinking they ought to leave Duo alone because that, to me, is their best app, easily.
Why are they doing that? I know they put Google Meet in the in what's it called? In Gmail now.
Oh, that's right. I heard that.
Yeah, I see it right here. 9 to 5 Google. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Google plans to eventually replace Duo with Meet. Wow.
Oh, see, there you go. Say you're right again, Will.
What?
Because Google kills anything that they got going.
Jeez. Yeah, I found it now. Dang, why are they doing that? Google is terrible, man.
That is bad. I mean, that is their best app.
Oh God, Google is really terrible. That don't make no sense. All these people like it. They added all those features just to kill it. That don't make no sense.
Okay.
Google's being evil with Pixel exclusive features.
You know what? I pulled it up on Android Center. Do you mind if I share it and we actually read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sharing it now. I'll read it. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it. So this is on Android Central. Google might be killing off Duo in favor of Meet. Sad. All right, computer's not cooperating. Come on. Okay. Google is set to kill off Duo, its consumer-focused video calling app, in favor of Meet. The former app had debuted with Google Allo, but had seen some success where Allo hadn't. That's putting it mildly, granting it longevity of sorts. Now, with Meet gaining popularity, Google seemingly wants to combine its video messaging efforts into I think he meant to say into one. 9 to 5, Google broke the news this evening. The decision is the result of Google placing its consumer communication services, Duo Messages, and Android's phone app under the leadership of G Suite with Javier Soltero. Under the unified team, after the unified team was made public in May, Soltero announced to employees that it does not make sense for Duo and Meet to coexist. Following the rise of work from home and remote learning, Google has moved aggressively to make Meet a Zoom competitor like Duo. It's now free for everyone to use and going after the same market. With all the focus on Meet, the new messaging chief opted to have the service become Google's one video calling service for both regular and enterprise customers. Internally, this is being described as a merger of the two services that is codenamed Duet. Good name. A portmanteau of Duo and Meet. We're told by sources that this new direction and the reduced interest in building a dedicated consumer service came as a surprise to the Duo team. I'll bet it did. It's a bit perplexing on one hand, considering how simple and easy to use Duo is. That's true. The plan to separate them by use case was brilliant on the face of it. Consumers would have a FaceTime competitor and businesses could have a Skype counterpart. On the other hand, Meet has grown by leaps and bounds in popularity, and the pandemic may have shown Google trends it just couldn't ignore. For what it's worth, Google tells 9 to 5 that Duo has seen astonishing growth in the same period as well. Duo won't die immediately. The report says that Google aims to bring over all of Duo's features into Meet over the next 2 years, or at least it's taking their time. Then it'll head to the Google graveyard to join apps like Play Music, Allo, and Hangouts. Yeah, that's true. And Google Plus, for that matter. All right. Well, at least we got a year or two. I think it's terrible because, like it said in the article, that they had one for business, they had one for personal use. Yeah.
Everybody, I think Samsung built it into their dialer. Like, why would you?
I agree, but you know, it's like you always say, this is what Google does, right?
They're trying to give iPhone users a reason to come over. Having Duo built in was, I mean, it was the equivalent of FaceTime.
And it worked so perfectly and smoothly. And he was right in the article. It's like the most simple app in the world to use. So
that's really crazy.
Yeah,
that doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, Munchie says it all. Common sense is not common at Google. That's true.
Of course, when they say their software team is surprised, of course, they got to be thinking, like, why would you kill an app that...
Exactly. Yeah, he must have really sprung that on them. I mean, he must have made it public without telling them first. It sure sounds like it anyway.
I don't think, what do you see? I'm looking at their thing with Brian Munchie. I don't think the 4A has the... whatever it is, whatever they're calling that thing now, the neural core. Or
the neural core, no, the 4A doesn't have it, as far as I know.
It doesn't make sense then, like they're saying. Why does the 4A have the real-time highlights and shadow thing, and the 3 can't do it. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
It's got a lower processor. It doesn't make sense. It should be able to do it.
Well, Munchie's saying the 3 doesn't have a neural core. Okay.
No, the 3XL has the what's it called? Pixel Visual Core or something.
Visual core, yeah.
Isn't it the same thing? I think they just renamed it.
I'm not sure.
I thought they just changed the name of it.
Munchie would know more about it than I am. Oh, he's saying he might be wrong about that.
And Google is lying. I thought they just renamed it. I thought at first it was the Pixel Visual Core, and then they just changed the name of it.
The neural core, I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so, hey, at least we learned that something and we got an article that we knew nothing about. So we learned something during the broadcast, which is cool. Something we didn't particularly want to know, but.
Well, we learned that Max doesn't like anything except for Apple.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's got you beat on that.
Wow, he's funny. He does not like that phone.
Well, so I'll be trying it out and seeing how it is.
Yeah, it's.
I have a suspicion. I'm not good at productivity on phones, but I have a suspicion this is going to start pushing me in that direction. But really, if you get a chance to watch that video.
Yeah, I got it queued up. Since we're done, we're going to be done early. I might actually watch it.
Yeah, it's a very good presentation. So, all right. So I'm ready for next week. Next week we'll be on the Mobile Geezer channel.
Yeah, right. Where's Jerome at with all the Pixel info?
Exactly. You know.
I think Jerome ordered the 4A too.
Yeah, He and I ordered it the same day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That comes next week, right?
I believe so. So next week I'll have the Pixel, and the following week I'll have something else that'll be a surprise to you and Mike and everybody else.
So wait, George.
The
Pixel 4 came with what version of Android? 10, right?
10.
So these phones are both going to be on the same update schedule. They're both going to get 3 years.
You would think so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. It's just it's crazy that they. Wow.
Well, I think it's cool though that we got 3 years.
No, I mean it's good. I'm just saying the price difference and this.
Oh yeah, but they're meant for 2 different things, you know.
Yeah, but the 4A is going to have everything that the 4 has, but better battery.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, if you notice, I bought the 3A and I bought the 4A. I don't buy the expensive one in between. Not when I know the A is coming. We just had to wait a while this year. Oh, now Brian's saying the 4A is going to get 4 OS updates, which would be great with me.
I wonder what they're doing with the 5.
From what I've seen, well, who was it? Jaime Rivera on Pocket Now Daily last night. He was saying that, and Jerome too, that there was supposed to be a 5XL, and now they're thinking there's not going to be a regular 5. It's going to be only the 5XL or something like that.
Still coming in October?
I don't know that anybody's sure. Do you think Google's sure? Who knows? You know.
I mean, it's so close. I don't know.
It is.
He's been putting out like a 4A 5G. They got to just be doing that for the carriers because the carriers.
I would think that I would. Oh yeah, some people think the 5 and the 4A 5G are going to come out at the same time, which to me again doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to you?
No, but Google.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then where are they going to? I guess they left themselves room with the pricing since this one came out at $350. So I guess they can go up a little bit and still not be.
Yeah, up to where the 5 is, yeah. And Brian is saying that the 4A 5G will ship with Android 11, so that is a difference, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Android 11 is coming out when? In like 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, Android 11 will be on that and the 5, so in the Pixel 4A will get it real quick, so.
You see what Munchie said?
4A 5G equal $499.
No. He said 5G phones will sell even if we use 5GE.
That's probably true. He's probably right about that. You know, all the carriers and the phone makers have gotten 5G in our heads, so I think he's probably right.
If they release the 4A 5G at $499, they can still release the 5 at $600
or $699, really.
$50 and still be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I'm thinking I'll probably skip both of those because the iPhone is coming. Yeah.
Google might do it right. They might be going in the right direction if they keep their prices cheaper.
Yeah, that's probably better than trying to go up against Samsung and Apple.
Yeah. Well, Samsung needs to get a little more realistic with their pricing too.
Yeah, but keep in mind they have the entire A line, and they seem to be doing pretty good with that too. So they probably don't have to get realistic with their flagships because they're making a lot of money on that A line.
Yeah, but their flagships aren't really selling like,
Yeah.
Google knows they can't sell $1,000 It took them a while to learn it, Gary, but I think they're learning now.
Yeah, and I got to agree with you 100%. I agree with both you and Munchie on that. So.
Yeah, we need to.
All right, we ready?
Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thanks everybody for coming in, and I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed weekend. And next week I'll see you on the Mobile Geezer channel. And thank you for coming in.
Look forward to your live unboxing tomorrow.
All right. Well, if I don't chicken out, we'll see.
Yeah,
I've never done a live unboxing before.
Just opening the box.
That's true.
Open the box and, situate the camera good. You'll be all right.
Okay, I've got the camera situated. All right. See you, folks.
All right.
Did you hit the button while